I'm currently in central Asuncion, and 2 days after Paraguay's historic World Cup win over Germany, I'm just about getting over my hangover. It may be the biggest win in the history of Paraguayan football. It's definitely the biggest win in the last 16 years, and they achieved it in an authentically Paraguayan fashion. The best way to explain the Paraguay national team to English football supporters is that in South America, they have a reputation a bit similar to Big Sam's Bolton or Dyche's Burnley. They're not the most talented team, but they're going to scrap. They're going to make life difficult for you, and they're going to play aggressively. And that's exactly what they did against Germany. They'd lost that grit a little bit under previous coaches who tried to play a more technical football. Daniel Garnero went 0 for 3 that way at the last Copa America. Current manager Gustavo Alfaro's trick has been unashamedly embracing what they do best, as well as some incredible man management. They made a habit of coming back from behind to secure points in qualifying, and the way he built belief back into the squad after their disastrous opening half against the US has been impressive. The fact they faced such overwhelming odds when down to 10 men for over an hour against Turkey, or when missing some of their best players against Germany and still held out both times, shows how much he's connected with this squad. Against Australia, they played with a back five to try secure the point they needed to reach the knockouts, but against Germany, they reverted to a 4-1-4-1 shape. Diego Gomez and Omar Alderete, Paraguay's 2 Premier League players, were both missing, with Gomez being replaced by Damian Bobadilla of Sao Paulo in midfield and Alderete replaced at centre-back by Jose Canale of Lanús. Enciso was nominally playing on the left, but had licence to come inside, and Matias Galarza did a lot of the defensive work on the left wing. Miggy Almiron returned from suspension and, as ever, offered a lot of defensive protection on the right-hand side in front of Juan Cáceres, as well as offering more technical security on the ball. Paraguay have given all 4 centre-forwards minutes this tournament, but none have been able to offer much of an outball, so Paraguay have relied on Enciso and Almiron's dribbling or Galarza's incredible engine to get them up the pitch and relieve pressure. Paraguay were always going to sit deep and keep things tight, and they had few chances, but their goal showed real attacking quality. Almiron faked a cross and held on to the ball for just the right amount of time to feed Galarza, who made a great run on the overlap, followed it with a perfect cross on his weaker foot, and Enciso found space in the area to score. When Germany equalised from a simple crossed ball and Enciso came off injured within the first 15 minutes of the second half, it was a huge blow to Paraguay, and as centre-forward Avalos was unable to hold up the ball, they brought on Gustavo Caballero of Portsmouth, normally more of a winger, to try offer more legs. Paraguay still couldn't hold the ball up though, and in extra time Alfaro brought on centre-forward Sanabria and moved to a 4-4-2 to bring Paraguay up the pitch and try relieve the defence a little bit. In midfield, Andres Cubas and Galarza, arguably Paraguay's best performers at this World Cup alongside Gustavo Gomez, did incredibly well to block space for Germany to get the ball into their forward players. The distance they covered and the intensity they played with over 120 minutes was immense. And for all their creative talent, Germany didn't create many opportunities to score outside of corners. Prior to the disallowed goal, the ref had got involved a few times for scraps between Keeper Gil and Anton of Germany, so I don't think it was a huge surprise to see the goal annulled, although, to be fair, I am extremely biased. But for me, it's similar to West Ham's disallowed goal against Arsenal late in the Premier League season, where if you grab a keeper to stop him from moving on corners, you're always taking a risk. For a team of their quality, Germany didn't create enough. Undav started in place of Musiala but didn't get involved in the game, Sane didn't beat his fullback often enough, and Germany didn't open up Paraguay to create enough 1v1s with their defenders. Just taking the game to penalties was already a kind of victory for Paraguay, and you could see the pressure piling on the Germany players during the shootout. Nagelsmann is a great tactician, there's no doubt about that, but there have been questions over his man management, and I can't help but think he might just have been the wrong type of manager for that situation. After the game, he went on German TV to discuss the tactical reasons why they were knocked out, but that's not what people want to hear when they've just been knocked out of the World Cup. They want to know how sorry you are. It won't change anything, it won't get you reinstated in the tournament, but they want to know that you understand what it means to represent them, that you feel the weight of it. And that's something that Alfaro of Paraguay understands implicitly. Since day one, he's brought belief in the team back not just to the players, but to the entire country. Paraguay's national image centres on being the country of the Guaraní people, who held on to their indigenous language hundreds of years after Spanish colonisation, who held on to their independence even after 85% of the adult population were killed during the War of the Triple Alliance, and who defended themselves with machetes against a larger and better equipped army in the Chaco War. This Paraguay team represents them. Every 30 minutes on Paraguayan TV during this World Cup, there's an advert of Alfaro reading a letter to the Paraguayan people. It ends with him saying, Some people say Paraguay have nothing to lose. For me, they have everything to win. This defiance against the odds, scrapping to the end, is exactly what Paraguayans want from their team. And so they move on to the last 16 to face France. I don't think I've seen an attack like theirs at a World Cup in my lifetime, who can attack from so many different angles and have so many ways to hurt you. Paraguay will set up in a similar manner, maybe with Diego Gomez coming back into the team to offer some fresh legs considering how many miles their other midfielders racked up against Germany. The reality is that France will be strong favourites and will likely advance, but even so, after 16 years away from the World Cup, Paraguay have come back fighting, and the celebrations after the Germany game were equal to what you would see after winning the World Cup in most countries. Police celebrating with prisoners, fans and flags crammed on top of moving trucks, 100,000 people crammed into one street on the city centre. And after giving your country those kind of celebrations, there's not much more you can win at a World Cup.